thumping above us. That's the
HVAC guys.
Yeah, the HVAC.
Oh, hi. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're live.
Okay, cool. Now we're live both places. Awesome. Today we're starting with what I'm really excited about. We haven't done this in a couple of years because COVID, chaos, madness, and just like trying to doggy paddle to tread water and not get water in your nostrils. But this year we are doing it again.
Very
That's how it felt. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Yeah. So now we have a little bit more breathing room to try to be more purposeful in being more thorough with just routine wellness stuff. One of the things that we're doing this month is it's Heartworm Prevention Awareness Month or Heartworm Awareness Month. And so one of our heartworm prevention provider, Zoetis, does the ProHeart injection. We talked a little bit about ProHeart shots not too long ago, and we were able to, along with Zoetis and IDEX, which is another diagnostic company that we have, and they sponsored a whole bunch of free heartworm tests that we can give to anyone who's getting a ProHeart shot this year or this month. Yeah, you can either get a 6-month shot or the 12-month shot, but anybody who gets those shots can get a free heartworm test. And so like if you're already compliant or like if you need your wellness and you're getting that updated, because of the discounts that our wellness, you're actually receiving an additional $15 off the wellness if you're incorporating with that. Otherwise, it's just a free heartworm test. So you can, if your exam is current and you just haven't gotten around to getting your dog on heartworm prevention, you can literally walk in, get a free test with your ProHeart shot, and be gone.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that matters so much too because of the ProHeart, kind of their company guarantee being current on the ProHeart.
Yeah,
I mean on the heart test.
So what Rachel's talking about behind us is that essentially the heartworm companies have guarantees on their products that says if you are doing what we said you needed to do to keep your dog protected and then your dog still gets heartworm, we will cover the treatment plan. And so what they actually ask you to do is get a heartworm test upon the time of beginning that treatment. And then they want you to be 100% guaranteed if you've never been on heartworm prevention before, then they want you to retest in 6 months. Mm-hmm. The reason they do that is because it does take 6 months from the time, 6 to 7, honestly, from the time you're bit by a bad mosquito or a mosquito that has the microfilariae in it, for that dog to test positive on our antigen test, which is what Dr. Goodall was talking about last week. How much is the shot for 6 months and the difference for 12 months? Any savings for 12 months is what LJ is asking. So it depends on the weight of your dog, how much it costs. So you have to tell us what your weight would be, and then we can look it up in the computer. There is a slight savings on the 12-month versus the 6-month. And then honestly, it's just really about, poking your dog less, being up here less, that kind of thing. So there's that benefit as well, just kind of built into that.
Yeah, it's not a huge saving. It's like a few bucks, but you don't have to bring them back.
It's like a beat. Like they want to start jamming here.
Yeah, all the thumping about us with the HVAC guys.
Ska beat, not like that.
Their own drum beat.
I love you.
Yeah. So anyway, so all that to be said, I think for me, I get more passionate about heartworm than I do almost any other preventable disease. Parvo's right up there. Yeah. But heartworms, parvo, it will affect dogs mostly within the first year of their life, whereas heartworm, literally every dog is at risk. If your dog is an indoor dog, you are not exempt. If your dog has big, fluffy, thick coat, you're not exempt. If your dog weighs less than 5 pounds, not exempt. Like there is nobody that is not at risk for heartworm in Oklahoma all year round. Mm-hmm. Full stop.
I don't know if anyone else has been paying attention. Mosquitoes are already bad.
Mosquitoes are already bad, and which is kind of crazy because we don't start seeing them quite this early. But
I mean, I don't know. I was out with my horse all winter and was swatting mosquitoes off on any day that was over 50. So I think that's probably why they seem so bad now is they just never went away this winter.
Yeah.
We really had a mild winter. We never had, not last year, obviously, but the year before that, we had that like big freeze in October.
Uh-huh. It was nasty.
It was nasty. And then we didn't have that this year.
Mm-mm. Yeah, they're persistent little creatures.
They are.
Nasty bugs. But and you find them, I always see them in my closet. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just because I look at the wall in my closet or like it's a confined space. It is close to my bathroom. Yeah. So probably the moisture.
Yeah, maybe.
I hate mosquitoes. Anyway, all this to be said, it is literally the most likely disease that your dog is to actually contract during its lifetime. If your dog is not on prevention, and the preventions are astronomically safe and astronomically effective and affordable. It's not outrageous at all. A lot of people think it's going to be super expensive, and it just isn't. And there are options for how you can do heart prevention. This special this month happens to be about pro heart infections, but all the preventions that we carry, some of them I do not like. They have a lot more breakthrough because heartworms are getting more clever, and so some of the older drugs like ivermectin-based products are not as effective as they once were.
Yeah.
So we try to avoid those, but in general, still. Even the low efficacy products are 86%, which is better than nothing. Yeah.
Good job, guys.
Yeah.
It's okay. We've only spent 5 years together.
Yes. It has been.
Yeah.
Well,
Crazy.
and prevention is just like everything we talked about last Wednesday. It's part of the budget. So you
You budget for the heart prevention, and I have run stats on it before, and the average dog, it would take 8 years of prevention's cost to come up to the total of one heartworm treatment. And yeah, oof. And then not to mention the long-term damage that's done to the heart and lungs of that patient, which you can't replace that. There's no monetary value on that.
Yeah. Even dogs that are treated, they've done necropsies at the end of that dog's life, and it's not just the heart that's affected, it's actually the liver and the kidneys all show damage from that too, from those worms traveling through there and dying off too. So it's
a massive inflammatory response.
Yeah, it's a horrible disease.
Yeah, don't recommend.
Don't recommend.
10 out of 10 do not.
Do not recommend. Yes.
Avoid at all costs.
Yes. Yeah, and I mean, at all costs.
Avoid at the cost
Of not very much.
prevention.
Yeah, it's not very much. Not very much. So anyway, I don't know if there's any other specific questions people have about heartworm prevention. But literally, I will go down swinging on a heartworm prevention when people are like, my dog's not really a risk. So or if they say, I don't want to do prevention, then I say, why? Because if you can tell me why you think you don't want to do it, I promise you, I have seen why you do.
Her emphatic why has a little more flaw to it.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, H
Why?
is very present.
Yes. Yes. You're gonna feel it.
Right.
It's not a soft why. All right, cool. So be prepared for me to die on that hill with you. If you have the questions, ask them, please, because I think a lot of misconception exists around heartworms.
No, I've definitely been in rooms where they're like, I just want to do the vaccines, and I walk in there and I'm like, okay, the vaccines are my least concern on your 3-year-old dog.
Yes, if we have to start budgeting, because I get that the economy is not in the best shape it's been
Anyone's
in
noticed.
ever. Yes, it's like we live in the 80s. I am old enough to remember
The 80s. Macaroni cheese. Spam.
You know what I love was the
And green peas.
Tony's pizzas.
Oh gosh, you could get them for like 80 cents.
89 cents.
Yeah.
Anywho, that wasn't even the 80s. That was in the 2000s, but that's when I was in college. Anywho, we're old. What were we talking about? Shoot, the economy. If we have to budget, I would rather start alternating out vaccines, delaying vaccine protocols in those 3, 4, 5, 6-year-old dogs than miss heartworm prevention. I just
right there too.
Agreed. So yeah, if you do have budget concerns and you're having to prioritize, let's talk that through, because we no judgments here.
No, we've all been there.
Yeah, I remember just for throwback back to the Tony's Pizzas days, when my grandpa, when they had passed away, we were cleaning out the house and there was this stack of $1 bills that was about this tall. So I don't know, what do you think that was? Maybe $80, right? And I remember when I was in college, I was so broke that when I couldn't afford food, I would peel $1 off at a time to go buy ramen noodles. So I will never judge you for budgeting. I will work with you in every scenario you need to be in and prioritize for you. So, or help you walk through that decision, because it's a lot of choices we're making.
You know, it was said, and this is a private thing, I'll never say who ever, but somebody said, you're in a room, you're too concerned about my budget. Stop asking me about my budget.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. we're not asking you because we care about what you make or don't make or have in your wallet. We're asking you because we want to know how we can best help you take care of your pets.
Right. Yeah.
Because we're on your team, not against you.
Yeah, and things can get extremely thorough, and some people will knock us for being too thorough. It's so expensive. No, it's just thorough, and you have the option of not doing all the things. We just want you to understand the risks that you're incurring with each choice.
Mm-hmm.
So if we choose to not do the rabies vaccine, the risk you're incurring is most likely not going to be the dog getting rabies, although it can happen. It's more likely that the neighbor that accuses your dog of biting them will have the dog euthanized. And because that they legally can do that if your dog isn't current on its rabies vaccinations. And so these are the risks that we're walking through. If you don't want your dog to have a rabies vaccine for whatever reason, financial or medical, whatever, that's fine. But here's the risk. Now, sometimes it's not fine. Sometimes we are legally required to update them for like surgical procedures and whatever. Luckily, that's only like, less than $15. But all this to be said, we want to be respectful of your budgets while simultaneously making you aware of just what your trade-off is in that.
It's just communication.
Communication. Yeah, communication, education, decision-making, empowering, knowledge is power, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Check. Moving on.
Yeah.
You'll have the list. I don't. So
we have the list. She gave us a list.
All right. So next, community talk. So
Yeah, that's a horrible segue.
right? I
We
know.
probably,
Anyway.
Listen, speaking of how much money was spent last Saturday.
Speaking of budgeting, I just spilled my coffee on myself. Such a sad note. Speaking of coffee, there you go. Some coffee running down the arm. Where do you get your coffee?
To be fair, we didn't even get coffee.
No, we didn't get coffee.
You didn't get coffee, yeah.
On Saturday. So the first Saturday of every month, which is downtown by Theopolis and Bayleaf and all of those places. Lovely people down there. They have Saturday brunch. And Saturday brunches.
I did not know that, actually.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
It's good that you know now.
Yeah, you need to go.
Okay.
It's always amazing. But unfortunately, it is right during the hours that I work.
Yeah, she works every Saturday.
I work every Saturday now.
Yeah, she elected to do that.
I do love it. I'm not complaining, except I then have to send my husband to go get brunch, which is fine for me.
He's such good people.
He's so funny about it. But anyway, this Saturday they were doing toast. And Rachel and I, we got one of each of the 4 varieties and then split them, and we ate every bit of it.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Mhm.
So anyway, next
They make a
first-
really good matcha latte there.
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing.
I'm an Americano girl, so that's what I get
That's
down
true.
there.
It's true. But for the
Listen, this is how different we all are. Your matcha, your Americano. I am. What is the weirdest thing on your seasonal list?
Mhm.
So they have seasonal menus,
Yeah, I
and
respect
I
that.
always look for the weirdest
respect
thing,
that.
and it's always my favorite.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, but
I just
anyway.
like the vibe.
I like the vibe down there too. I love Comma. And they do their book club also, which I was able to go to the first one. And then again, since meetings are on Saturdays, I haven't
Mm-hmm.
been able to do others. But any of you should check them out if you haven't been down
We
there.
were gonna do their last book together, and then we
Yeah.
forgot. So we're like how we were gonna do yoga in the mornings before work. And we forgot.
you got a lot on your brains.
Anyway,
Good intentions.
Good intentions,
Yeah.
you
So
just gotta prioritize.
anyway.
You're busy though. You're busy with. I heard you and Rachel were working on your rehab plans.
Yes.
Soon.
We are.
I go to sleep. I'm just tired.
Yeah, we've been very busy, and y'all may see some of that stuff rolling out as we talk to you about surgical rehab or your senior dogs,
Geriatrics,
who need kind of help with their arthritis. We're bringing on some different modalities. So we've always had our laser, and we still really love it, use it a whole lot. We've also brought on what's called a PIMP bed, which is an electromagnetic bed that it helps increase circulation. And so it's really nice for the senior patients that will just lay on it. My dog adores that thing.
She
Like
does.
you get it out and she's on it before you can lay it down.
No, it's true.
Mhm.
She's trying to slap it out of the air to the ground.
Put that thing down.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's another really great modality that we have the option for now. And then we are working on bringing on some more like, you think of physical therapy and human, you think of exercises. So some exercise regimes, including we've got like balance beams.
Balance
Can you
balls.
imagine balance balls and
Yes.
like little
We do
cavaletti
a wobble
thing.
board.
We have a wobble
Wobble
board.
board. It's kind of like
Yeah,
a
that's
wobble
kind of what I was thinking was the
Yeah.
wobble board. And then I am working on adding some dry needling. Yeah, which has been really exciting.
It has been.
Um,
I was shocked myself, just like
Yeah.
how quickly
The results.
the results were. I figured it would take longer to really
mhm.
kind of build up, but it was almost immediate.
My favorite thing is just starting to put together connections because, like, we're learning even more about the laser right now. So I'll go in and laser a patient, and they really do like. Where if you find where they hurt with the laser, they lean into it. It's almost like, oh, right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I came out the other day and we had a little sweet little patient we've been lasering for a little over a month. We just wondered if the needles would help him. So we talked through with the owners, asked permission. They said yes. And I came out and told Dr. Goodall, it's on the left side of his neck, kind of down by his shoulder, I think, based on what the laser was showing. She goes in there with a needle, and sure enough, the one spot on that dog is in that spot, and he just went.
Just
It was
melts.
like-
You can't
yeah.
see her, but she just like relaxed.
Yeah, and so it's really cool how we're kind of being able to, and then seeing the results that these dogs, some of them couldn't put their legs down, and I mean, stand up on them, you know what I mean? And it's amazing to be the person holding the dog while Dr. Goodall's working.
Yeah.
Because you're feeling their response, you're seeing their facial expressions, the way their body moves. It's pretty stinking cool.
It is cool. The proof's in the pudding.
I just like being in the
Psychosomatic
audience.
isn't a thing for dogs, so it's
No,
really cool
it's-
to know that they're actually feeling better because they can't have done that to themselves mentally.
Yeah. No, it's been really interesting and a lot of fun, and we're excited to expand the services we
Mhm.
offer as the remodel kind of takes shape. We're gonna
Yeah.
have space for all of
Yeah, we've got
that.
our permits, we've got our
Yeah.
building ordered. The
Concrete guys came out yesterday and
yeah,
scoped everything
concretes
out.
they're gonna try to lay the pad soon. Dirt work's done, and then got rained upon, and then they fixed it again.
Yeah.
The
Springtime
HVAC's getting
Oklahoma.
worked on already. They're starting to work on the barn, which will now be the insides of the building.
Yeah, I think the biggest hoop we're gonna have to jump through with the HVAC guys being here, they are precious, by the way, ACOC, climate control, local guys.
They've been doing amazing
Wonderful.
work.
They are the sweetest, most respectful dogs.
Dogs.
Dogs?
You just called them
Dogs.
dogs.
Guys, I was going with the story of dogs, guys. So the other day they're out there and they accidentally kick a bucket, and I teased them about, what are you kicking my bucket for? And I walked inside and they laughed, and I walk out with my dogs. That's where I was going with dogs. I walk out with my dogs to go potty and Major before I could stop and hikes his leg and pees on their ladder, which happens around here. And I looked at him and he goes, that was for the bucket, wasn't it? I'm like, these guys are great. I love them.
So be patient with this because they've been
In the other rooms for
in
the
the
next few days.
rooms and then the lobby. We had to like lift. I don't know. I saw them with like this jack thing and this giant.
They
metal
lifted a
thing.
new unit with the whole, and if you've ever been
The
in our
unit went up in the
rooms-
ceiling. I don't know how HVAC works.
Well, some of our rooms in the past, and if you've been a client who's been in enough of them, sometimes room 5 gets super hot, sometimes
Yeah.
room 2 gets super cold. They're trying to fix that.
Yeah,
So-
we've had issues since we very first took on this building with the left side and the right side of the hallway literally being at war with each other. I've joked many times with the clients that every afternoon around 3:00 we have a tornado in the hallway.
That's right.
But it's a real issue, and so they're going to try to get that fixed for us once and for all. Repair the ductwork while they're also expanding our units, and so getting ready for more square footage.
Yeah. So if you have air conditioner problems this year, ACOC time
Yeah,
control. They're
ACOC is
the
amazing.
dudes.
They actually, luckily for me, have enough people on their team that they were also able to go to my personal house and work on our air conditioner that just broke at the end of last week. So they were here and at my
At
house.
the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, just getting plenty of Natalie. Anyway, at least it was nice weather.
Right? If your AC is gonna go out, now's the time.
Now is the time to have your AC, yes, compressor break. Anyway.
Not speaking from experience
Yes.
over there or anything.
I love it.
Yay for warranties. Okay. All right, cool. I got rooms going. I gotta go.
Okay.
But
Well,
y'all
I think
have
that was
fun. I
the
think
end of our
that's
list.
basically the end of the list anyway. And we're almost at 20 minutes. Or surely sick of listening to this.
Surely.
Okay. All right, y'all have a great.
Oh,
Oh wait.
I want to know. I want to know when the thumbnail happens.
Oh,
But before you guys hit stop, I want y'all to make a cheesy pose because I want to know if it's at the end.
Okay.
I
ready?
don't think it's at the end.
Well, we're gonna try. So you guys have to click it off. So hands forward on buttons to click stop and do something silly.
Okay. Wait. Hold on. How do I? Where's my? Oh, it's the finish button. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. What do we do?
You're gonna have to hold your pose. I don't care what it is, but I'm curious.
I'm gonna do jazz hand. Jazz hand.
Just
That
one
one's
hand.
busy.
right? Like
Either way, that's a great way to end the
this
video.
one is still not stopped because you have to do like